Finally made it to my favorite place to camp because it's free.
Yeah, we are on some forestry land here in the Grand Tetons.
There's nothing better than a little dispersed camping in the mountains. It's awesome. We've done this before. We did it in Arizona. Of course, we did it at the Badlands just recently. We've done it a few times, and it's always been awesome.
Yeah, this is not a bad spot, and we're probably about 2 miles off one of the main roads here in the Grand Tetons National Park, I guess.
We're in the National Forest.
Okay, we're in the National Forest.
Just outside the Grand Tetons.
Yeah, I just drive.
We can actually
I don't even know where we're at.
right there.
Yeah, they're behind us. Or over that way, but it's a little windy, so we had to kind of use Ruby to shield us from the wind today.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about dispersed camping and how to find it, don't you worry, because I'm planning a video and I'm going to tell you how we find all of our free forestry dispersing campgrounds, and I'll give you a couple of locations we've been to in the past.
Yeah, and one of the tips that she's probably going to share with you is
maybe we should wait till the next video. Okay, go ahead.
Maybe. All right, I'll give you one. But we turned off the main road. We stopped. We unhooked the Jeep so that she could go and scout ahead instead of driving the rig through these bumpy, dirty, dusty roads. She went, found us a spot, relayed it back to me and said, come on in. And that's how we ended up here.
Now, it's not just one rig. We are also traveling with, pan over, Life Beyond the Burbs.
There they are.
So it's 2 rigs, 35-foot and 40-foot, and we are here at Dispersed Camping. Now, it's awesome. We love it here, but did it take us about an hour to get level?
Yeah, you know, looks can be deceiving. It looked like it was a pretty level spot, but once we started leveling, it took us some time to jockey in position. There's a lot of rocks and boulders that threw it all off, so it took some time, but we figured it out.
Totally worth it. So today we're actually going to take you into town. We're going to go to Jackson Hole and walk around a little bit. Now, we haven't been showing you much of these small towns we've been traveling through just because we have to wear masks, and you know, sometimes the sound doesn't pick up too good when we have the masks on. So we will see what we can do when we get down there.
Yeah, and one of the main reasons we're going in is I need a haircut. I'm about as fuzzy as I've ever been.
Bad.
So don't say anything about the gray hair because I'm about to cut it out.
Yeah, he'll lose all the gray. That's really why he keeps it short. So he looks younger when it's gone.
Well, I'm standing next to this one, so I've got to look younger.
All right, so the plan was to come out here and show you guys everything Jackson has to offer. But there's a hiccup. We'll call that hiccup 2 Jalapeno Margaritas.
Yeah. While I was getting my haircut, I got a text that says, meet me at the coffee shop. So when I got done with my haircut, I got another text that said, change that, we're having margaritas.
We were headed to the coffee shop. We passed by, what is it, the Piglets? The Mary Piglets?
Mary Piglets.
The Mary Piglets Mexican Grill. And we were like, forget the coffee. Let's go for margaritas. They were delicious. If you like jalapeno margaritas, it is a must, and because of that, I'm putting the camera down now. You don't want to know what's up. Well, you might want to know what happens next, but I'm not showing you.
That's right. You'll have to wait for the next video. I don't know if you can see this or if you can tell, but it's snowing right now. We were just sitting here looking out the window enjoying the coffee, and I thought the trees were shedding something. The wind was blowing it out, but no, it's actually snow. It's pretty cool. So the mountains are behind us. That's the Grand Tetons, and I'm sure there's snow happening on the top of the peak there at the 13,000 foot level. But this is pretty cool. I really miss the snow, so I know it's not going to last, but anyway, I'm trying to catch something.
Hear me when I'm singing that, oh, 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 and it keeps getting better, it only gets better, oh.
One of the things I do before every trip is come out and check my tire pressure. First, it's telling me right now that my tires are low. This is recording the Jeep and it's telling me my Jeep tire is low. So when you get your TPMS, you program it to whatever tire pressure your vehicle needs and your rig needs based on your weight. I've gone through and programmed my TPMS, and right now it's telling me that I'm low because we're in cold weather. We've been in cold weather for about 2 weeks now. It's especially important when you're in colder weather to check your pressure, because I'm about 8 to 10 pounds low in specific tires between the Jeep and the rig. So today, before we hit the road, I'm going to hook up the hose to my onboard air compressor. I'm going to go through with my TPMS. I'm going to fill them to my preset PSIs. I use a 50-foot hose and a digital pressure gauge, and I connect it to my onboard air compressor, and that's how I air up tires on the Jeep and the rig. And this hose will reach all the way to the back if the Jeep was attached to the rig. Stacy just went inside the rig to turn her on so the air compressor can fill up. And then when our air pressure inside gets to over 100 PSI, then I can go ahead and use my compressor, because then it's fully charged. Right now we're getting ready to close up the slide so that I don't bump my head when I'm filling up the tires. I go ahead and close the back when ready. And as you can see, this is the spot that I have hit my head on many times, whether I'm washing it, airing the tires up, because you can see the two slides here are very close. Our wee boost is going through the front slide in the top corner. That's how we bring it in. I have not figured out a way, or I have figured out a way, I just haven't figured out where exactly in the roof. I need to drill a hole and run the wire down so that we can permanently mount it. Did you detach the cable up from the wee boost?
Yes.
I bring it in a little bit and then feed it out. That's good. Go ahead and feed it out. So now I got to go grab it. You are clear to close. Whoa! That was a big old sheet of ice that just fell off the slide topper. Was not anticipating that. We haven't had any rain or whatnot, so I don't know where all that water came from. I guess just moisture through the day. But that is some thick ice. This is what was on top of the slide topper. Glad I wasn't standing right there.
Well, you'd think after all this time you would know not to stand under anything that could leak on your head.
Well, I didn't anticipate water being up there. We haven't had any rain. I guess that's just dew and condensation buildup.
Well, you have not anticipated before and got a nice shower, so I would always anticipate.
This is true. First thing I have to do is take off my TPMS sensor. This front tire here should be reading 80 on my presets. Now it's telling me that I've lost my sensor. So I'm going to add about 6 pounds of air. We weighed our rig using a four-corner weigh, meaning we had a scale on each tire at a separate time to get the correct weight of Ruby. So our weight up front dictated that we put it at 80 psi according to the Michelin RV tire chart. If you're not sure how to go about weighing your tires or your PSIs, what they should be, we have a blog that Stacey will link below.
Today's a very sad day.
It is indeed.
We had to say goodbye to Al and Angie a few minutes ago. We are going our separate ways again.
Yeah, but I'm sure we'll see them within a few months, I'm sure. That just seems to be our MO.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's the best thing about this life is you can bob and weave and intersect and meet up. Your friends may not be beside you, but they're always there and somebody's always around the corner.
Bob and weave?
Bob and weave.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Pretty good, right?
So we're going to bob and weave our way on down the road, heading south.
Yes, the Tetons were beautiful. As you can see behind me, it's just everywhere you look. The view here, the leaves were turning for the fall. It's just been amazing.
Yeah, we've been here about a week and we've actually seen the colors changing on the trees. And when we first got here, they were bright yellow, bright green. Now they're a dull, mustardy yellow.
Falling.
And falling. You can tell that winter is coming.
For sure, for sure. It was about 20 degrees when we got up this morning, so I am excited to start heading south. Although I gotta tell you, being at Yellowstone and the Tetons during a non-peak time has been really cool. The crowds have been very minimal. I can't imagine being here at a peak in the middle of summer. There's no way. You'd be fighting the crowd.
Yeah, and not to mention the crowds were sparse.
Sparse.
The crowds were few and far between, but so was the dang wildlife.
Yeah.
I mean, we were expecting to see moose and bear all over Teton. We saw 3 moose from afar.
With binos.
3 moose and a possible moose sighting. We don't know if it was a tree stump, a rock,
a bison.
We don't know. It was too far away, but it was a black dot when we saw it.
So unfortunately, I have no video to share with you this time of animals, but we will come back and try again in the future.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing. This area is beautiful.
Yeah.
For our first time here, seeing these mountains, the snow. We actually had snow
One
for
day,
about
2
3
seconds.
minutes. It was falling, but it was definitely falling in the mountains, and you could see the snow on the caps up there. I can only imagine this place with 9 feet of snow, how beautiful it would be.
Well,
coming through
cold,
here.
wet, miserable, that too.
But you know, if you haven't been to Jackson, Wyoming, to Grand Tetons,
It is worth a trip.
add it to your list. You know, I didn't know what to expect when I got here, but man, this place is beautiful. And the town of Jackson, it's got a really, really great vibe.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. We are so glad you're a part of our community. If you haven't taken the time to hit that subscribe button, now's the perfect time. It's right there. Just go ahead and click it. And while you're at it, be sure and give us a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed some of the views of the Tetons that we were able to bring you. Our cameras did not do it justice. So if you haven't been to the Tetons, make sure you write that on your to-do list because it was amazing. Alright guys, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and our village. And make sure you head over to our website, todayissomeday.net, to check out our blog posts and our community. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't see our video from last week, I'll put a link down below for our military charity, which is Homes for Our Troops. We are hoping to raise $15,000 for that platform before the end of the year. So make sure you pop over and check out Homes for Our Troops and learn all about them, and we'll leave our fundraiser link right below. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.